Today we're going to do a quick yoga practice, nothing too long, just to get us started with this as being an option for our classes. We're going to start sitting up nice and tall, legs crossed. It's oftentimes that people will sit very rounded in this position and they'll lose the ability to breathe really deeply. So you want to think about sitting up nice and tall. And if you have tightness in your hips, it's okay for these legs to be up here if you need to. So find that comfortable position. Go ahead and close your eyes, shoulders down and back, and just try to start out with a quick breath. Inhale, exhale through the nose if possible. And on your next exhalation, inhaling here, and then on your exhale, allow the chin to fall forward to the chest. Just continue breathing here, and I want you to give me a little side-to-side roll, noticing if we have tightness in our neck or our shoulders that is more pronounced on one side than the other. If you do, maybe take a little extra second to stay there and just allow the head to hang heavy and stretch. And when you finish both sides evenly, allow the chin to fall forward to the chest. Exhale fully. And then on an inhale, gently lift the head up to neutral. Good, let's go ahead and come around to hands and knees position. Spread the fingertips nice and wide to support the body's weight with the full hand, not everything on those wrists. That can be difficult. And I want you to allow the belly to sway a little bit. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and gently look up. And on an exhale, I want you to round the back up like a cat. Tuck your tailbone under and allow the crown of the head to point straight down towards the floor. Good. Inhaling back through that neutral spine to what's called dog or cow. And exhale to cat. Just move with your breath. This is a way to warm up our core muscles while also giving a little fluidity to our spine, so we're ready to move through the more challenging poses. Rounding to cat one more time. And on your next inhale, take your back to nice and neutral. Let's go ahead and reach the left arm straight out in front of us. And if you can, extend that right leg back. Now, if you have trouble with this balance move, you can touch the toe to the floor, or you can lift it up to even with the back, and you'll feel that strength moving through that entire core. When you're ready, on an exhale, lower down, starting with the right arm, reaching straight out, and then extending the left leg. Keeping the spine nice and straight, including the head, so you're looking straight down towards the floor and keeping the neck aligned with the rest of the spine. On your next exhale, release it down. Let's curl our toes under, and I want you to just lift up onto the toes and press slightly back. Knees stay very bent. And then come back forward to hands and knees. Good, breathing in here, and then exhale back. Notice my head comes down between the arms and the chest lowers towards the thighs. Inhale, hands and knees. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, pressing back. And then inhale forward. Good, this time flatten out those feet and exhale, sink back to child's pose. Stretching through the hips and back. Inhale up to hands and knees. Exhale back. Inhale, hands and knees. And exhale back. And then coming up. Moving into our sun salutations, we start in mountain pose with feet hips distance apart, shoulders down and back. On an inhale, we reach the arms overhead, and then taking hands to the thighs, supporting ourselves as we hinge forward from the hips and fold forward. Bending your knees as much as you need to here. Inhale, coming halfway up into a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Moving with breath, inhale to flat back. Exhale, folding forward. And one more time, breathing in. And exhale. On your next inhale, step the right foot back into a long lunge. And then taking the left foot back to join into a plank position. Here we're going to lower ourselves all the way down onto the mat. And then inhale into a nice little baby cobra. Just lift that back up. Don't worry about straightening the arms. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, coming up to hands and knees. And then exhale, sitting back into child's pose, extending those arms forward, stretching through the hips and back. Inhale, coming up to hands and knees. Exhale, curling the toes under and pressing back into downward facing dog. Don't worry about the legs being fully straight here. Just stretch and breathe 3 times deeply, inhaling, exhaling into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, stepping the right foot forward into that nice tall lunge. Bringing the left foot to join at the front of the mat, forward fold. Shaking your head side to side. And on an inhale, lifting the arms up overhead. And releasing down, forward fold. That support with the hands on the thighs is always there for you if you have any lower back issues. Stepping the left foot back this time into that tall lunge. And then taking the right foot back to meet into plank. You can lower your knees here if you need to. And then exhale, lower yourself to the floor. On your inhale, lift to that little baby cobra. So again, if you're feeling a little more warm and the back feels okay with it, you can lift a little higher. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, coming up to hands and knees, and exhale, sinking your hips all the way back into child's pose. On an inhale, come to hands and knees again, curling your toes under, lifting the hips, sending them back into downward facing dog. Breathe into this. Maybe pedal your feet a few times, opening up a little bit more through the back of the legs. And when you're ready, On an inhale, step the left foot forward into that tall lunge. Bringing that back foot forward to meet the other into a forward fold. Breathe. Feel the backs of those legs opening. And on an inhale, we lift. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Breathe in, reaching the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, stepping the right foot back. Hold the breath to a plank position. Exhale, lower yourself down to the mat. Inhale, cobra. Curling toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward to the mat, to the front. Exhale, left foot joins. Breathing in, reaching and lengthening all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Inhale, reaching arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Breathing in, left foot stepping back. Exhale, right foot joins, plank. Lowering down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot to the front. Exhale, right foot joins, fold. Breathing in, lengthening all the way up. And exhale, hands through the heart center to the beginning, Tadasana Mountain. Now we're going to do a little Warrior One series, stepping the right foot back, reaching arms up overhead. On this one, you want both hips facing directly forward. So think about your hip bones and have them squared to the front. As we lengthen up, bringing hands to the heart center, exhale. On an inhale, hinge forward, trying to keep that back heel down on the floor. Exhale, press the fingertips back, palms facing up. And then on an inhale, reach the arms up overhead. This will require some balance. We're going to move through that series again. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, hinging forward. Exhale, reach the hands back. And inhale, lengthening up. One more time through. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, hinging forward. This is called Humble Warrior. Exhale, reach the hands back into airplane arms. And inhale, lengthening up. Now we're going to be moving into Warrior Three. This is a challenging position. Hands to the heart. Hinging forward. Now shift all the weight to the front foot. Come up onto the toe after you reach back into airplane. And then try to lift that back foot up off the floor. Breathe into it. If you need to leave the back toe on the floor, you can do that. Just do your best. Stepping back and reaching arms up overhead. Stepping forward into mountain, hands to the heart. And then back to mountain pose. Stepping back with the left, arms reaching overhead, Warrior One. Moving through that series again, make sure to try to connect the breath with the movement. Exhale, hinge forward, inhale, reaching back, exhale, really reach through those fingertips. And then inhale, lengthening upward. This is so good for the core. Exhaling, hands to the heart.
Inhale, hinging forward. Exhale, reaching back. And inhale, lengthening up. Move with your breath. Hinging forward. Reaching those hands back. And inhale, lengthen. Bringing hands to the heart. Hinging forward, getting ready for that warrior three. Reaching hands back. And then shift the weight and see if you can come into that balanced position into warrior three. Stepping that foot back and taking the arms up. On your exhalation, bring the hands to the heart, stepping forward and back to mountain pose. This next series, we're going to work with warrior two. Stepping wide onto your mat and turn your hips so that they're facing side. That front knee is directly over the ankle, arms are at shoulder level. Dropping the back hand down, turning the palm on the front hand facing up, and then dipping back. Back to warrior two, palms facing down, and then forearm to the thigh, reaching over that front leg. Extended side angle. Now with breath, inhale, warrior two. Exhale, exalted warrior. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale, extended side angle. Coming back up to warrior two, breathing in, lengthening. Exhale, reverse warrior or exalted warrior. Inhale, warrior two, palms down. And exhale, extended side angle. Breathing in, find that beautiful warrior two position again, strong legs, and let the arms float down. We're going to turn both toes facing the side, and then hinging forward from your hips, I want you to come forward into a straddle splits position. Now you may need to bend your knees a little bit here, depending on flexibility. I like to grab a hold of the toes and sort of pull forward to extend the stretch, but everybody's different as to where their level is. And then when you're ready, you're going to bring your arms forward, bend the knees, hands to the thighs, slowly lifting up. And then we're going to turn our foot the other way to step to the top of the mat on the other side. Hands to the heart. Inhale, lifting the arms up, and exhaling, stepping back to warrior two the other way. Turning and looking over that front hand when you're ready. Arms pressed down, shoulders away from the ears. Back hand falls to the thigh, palm turns up, and then reaching back into reverse warrior. On your inhale, coming to warrior two. And then exhale, forearm to the thigh, reaching arm overhead, extended side angle. Again, just moving with breath through this series in your own time. Inhaling, long spine into warrior two, and then exhaling into that nice long extended side angle. Feel that stretch along the spine. Inhaling warrior two. That beautiful reverse warrior extending through the rib cage. Exhaling warrior two. Reaching into that extended side angle. Coming back up. Allowing the arms to fall at your sides. Turn the toes face forward again. Hinging forward at the hips. I like to place my hands on my hip bones there to make sure I'm not rounding the lower back. This time we're going to walk our hands over to one leg. So feel that stretch. Not only will will this open up the back of the thigh, but you'll feel the inner thigh on the opposite leg stretch a little bit more. Do what feels best for you. Breathing into it. Taking hands to the center, bending your knees once again, hands to the thighs, and slowly taking yourself up. Here we're going to do a series of seated stretches. Sitting with legs forward, hinging forward from the hips. Now, if you have extremely tight hamstrings, I want you to bend your knees as much as you need to here to get a nice stretch. On your inhale, come a little ways up, sort of release out of it, and then exhale, drop back down into that. This is a more dynamic way to stretch and open the backs of the legs and the lower back. Just moving with breath. Maybe you can grab a hold at the ankles or the bottoms of the feet and fold yourself forward and hold for a breath or two. And then on an inhale, we'll lift up, nice and tall. Bending your right leg, reaching around with your left hand, and then making a fist with your right hand, place it into the small of your back. Now turn and look to your right, keeping the spine nice and long, being aware of not rounding over, and stretching here. Breathe deeply, because as we twist, just the action of the breath is going to stretch along the rib cage. And then we're going to unwind to the other side. Just a quick little stretch the other direction. Choice number 2, we're going to cross that right leg over top of the left. Now you need to be able to do this with both hips, both cheeks on the floor. So this time starting with the hand in a fist at the small of the back, but maybe opening the fingers and seeing if we can reach around towards the other hip as we twist. So each one of these choices is going to get just a little bit more intense. If it ever feels like too much, go back to the option we did first. And then we unwind to the other side just like we did before. For our last option, we're going to tuck that left leg underneath. Now this one can be very challenging to keep both hips down, so please stay with one of the first options if you need to. So you take that left hand across the right thigh, rotate yourself to the right, fist to the lower back, and then open the hand around for a beautiful stretch. Unwinding to the other side. And then we're going to take both legs back out in front and finish up with a forward fold. Stretching through both hips and the lower back. And then doing that whole series on the left, bending the left knee, grabbing a hold with the right arm, sitting up nice and tall, right hand to the small of the back and looking over the shoulder. Breathe. And then unwinding to the other side. And then moving on to our second option, crossing that foot over. Now be mindful, one side might be tighter than the other. Grabbing hold of that leg, fist, but then maybe opening that hand to reach across to that other hip. Check in with posture. You're sitting nice and tall, long spine all the way up through the crown of the head, and breathe. Releasing that stretch and unwinding to the other side. And then on to our last option, bending that bottom leg under and pressing the hip down. Notice I have a little bit of trouble with this side, so I was having to focus on pressing down, crossing that arm over, reaching the hand back to the lower back, opening up that hand into a beautiful twist here. Breathe deeply. And for a final time, unwind to the other side. And then we extend both legs out into a forward fold. From here, we're going to lower ourselves down onto our backs and hug our knees into our chest, and just make little circles. Go one direction and then switch and go the other. And then our arms are going to go out to the sides, and we'll allow our legs to drop to one side together, turning your head and looking the opposite direction. And then bringing your legs up and letting them drop the other way. Breathe. And then bringing our legs up, and we're finding our way to a comfortable place to be in our final relaxation. So either the legs out long, or if this bothers your lower back, you can bend your knees and maybe possibly push the knees together so that they wouldn't fall if you go into a relaxed state. So find that position that is comfortable for you. From here, I just want you to settle into your breath, inhaling and exhaling, allowing any tension or stress to just release down into your mat. You breathe and relax. Keeping this feeling of calm, just allow yourself to wiggle those fingers and toes to feel that gentle awakeness and awareness creeping back into the body. And then reaching arms overhead and pointing your toes and lengthening through the body like a good morning stretch. And then rolling over onto one side, using hands and arms to push yourself up and lengthen up to seated. Sit however's comfortable. Take a breath in, lengthening upward, Exhale, press away any tension or stress. Breathe in, gathering the good energy in the room. Exhale, press away anything that's holding us back. One last time, breathing in, gather the goodness. Exhale, pulling into our hearts. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste. See you next time.